I got disconnected yet again, but back up quicker than any of the times. Unfortunately, it will not let me continue the same stream. So, I don't know why that is. I was able to do it when I was doing a mobile connection. I would just wait and let the internet reset. I'm not sure what the issue is, but anyhow. So we'll plan on going until about 9. So, oh well. Sorry about that, but there's nothing I can do about it. Unfortunately. Who's this? This is the 4th figure? But I know one thing's for sure. I won't be streaming anything live that's worthwhile from here, because I don't want to miss the middle of a game or something like that. I really don't like breaking this up into parts, but I really don't have much of a choice. The internet has a mind of its own. It's just annoying because people have to reconnect. I got to find everybody again. I'm doing what they told me to do. Write down the times you get disconnected at and see what the issue is. So, we got 6:32 and 7:58. I'm telling you, it's the Taliban on the loose. Let's put this away. Where did I end up putting that figure? Did I end up putting him back? Yeah. Okay. Let's put this away. We'll get to these guys. Any plans to do the Monday games soon? Not sure. Probably not. I need to get these guys done. Work has been too busy. You know, I'm hot all day long at work. The last thing I need to is be even hot when I game. I'd like a shower, and and I need to get these guys done, and then I have to edit a video. So there's a lot of things to distract me from getting these guys done. So they are coming back. It's not like we're not going to do them anymore. So just wish we played somewhere that was cooler. And it throws my whole schedule out, because I wake up at 5 a.m. every morning. I have to for work. And then staying up till 11 o'clock. And then having a video to edit and get out is just, too much. So I can deal with not having gaming. He still get to game. He's got he still has a Joel that comes in the morning. They game all day on Monday, so don't feel sorry for Mitch that he's not getting any gaming on. Yeah, he's getting plenty of gaming. He's getting more gaming than I am getting painting. So there'll be other games. So I stopped doing it because the Papal Army wasn't done. So all I was doing was throwing up roadblocks to getting the Papal Army done. But they're done, so that isn't the issue. The issue is now I need to get these guys complete for the show, even though there may not be a show. We'll see. I don't care anymore. You know, I'm just here to paint. So. Getting really tired of the carpet being pulled out from under me. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. This guy's done. Well, let's do his. Let's flip this around the other side. And I wish we could game on a day I have off. So, because we're gaming, but I'm doing all the heavy lifting when it comes to videos and stuff. So, it's literally happening at the worst time. So, we'll be back. I just don't know when, but we'll be back. And I get these guys done. And you guys can see some World War One. Some Book One stuff. For you Book One fans. So I don't know how excited I'm going to be to paint another Book One army. There's just, you know, after you've painted one, it's like you painted them all. There's just not enough. They're not different enough looking. Forget the army list. The army lists are fine. There's nothing wrong with the Book One army lists. Just the, you know, oh, another guy wearing a battle sarong with no shoes and bareheaded, like, boring. I guess I could morph I could use some of these guys that are half-ass naked anyways and just morph them in other things, but that's a thought. Could do that. All right, let's get the black out and do this. Because it's not like I don't want to paint Assyrians or something like that. It's just, you know, the guys that look exactly like these guys are, you know, boring. Well, we'll see. I do have Assyrians to do. That'd be the next army I would probably do. I already have them. That'd be the next Book One army I would do. Just got a lot of stuff to do to be editing videos too. I gotta get these guys done. I gotta do a bunch of awards for. Actually, I'm waiting to do that the last week. I don't want to do all these little things. I mean, it just takes time. And then, you know, oh, there's no convention. You know. Or we can't go down there. And then we end up holding the games here. And then I have to change the fact that it says where the convention's held out on every one of the awards. Just stuff that takes time. It's just kind of overwhelming. You don't want to burn out the guy that's doing all the heavy lifting, or, you know. You won't be getting any videos. Mitch won't be filming any videos, you know. He doesn't even press buttons to text. He speaks into it. So he's got a ways to go to do a video. He's got a ways to go for sure. There was a guy, I heard a story of one of the guys that, when I first started playing DBA, one of the groups that was very active was a group in Ohio. And they just kind of petered away. And the story that I heard is, I don't know if this is true or not, is that one guy that was doing all the heavy lifting, he was doing all the lifting, organizing, doing all the awards, providing prizes, and not playing. Yeah, I'm not putting on all these games and not playing. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous to not play as well. Well, how can you play if, you know, if you're judging the game? I mean, how can you be that dishonest? It doesn't make any sense to me, you know. The whole point is to play with your toys that you spend all this time painting. If I can't do that, well, then I'm not going to organize everything. And then nobody will do it and it falls apart. So. I guess we'll make this guy a little older. So that's the story I heard anyways. I don't know if it's true, but it's sad, you know. All right. This guy's done. Oh, blurry damn. It's so difficult to move my hand one way to go the other one. There we go. These figures have good faces. I mean, Essex figures are pretty easy faces to paint. They're conducive to having good features. All right. Let's take a look at the guys so far. We got 2 guys left to do. Let's take a look at these guys so far. And this, of course, is how they'll end up turning out. Really happy with how the groundwork on them turned out. And they're going to have some stripes. Oh yeah, the next guy was going to have a red cloth. Or was that last guy should have done red? I probably got distracted. Yeah. All right, so let's give this guy a red battle sarong. And no, it's not going to be bright red. And I may not like it, which means I'll just change it. Okay, this guy right here. Battle sarong. That's catchy. Man, I drink a lot of liquids. Should just put on a diaper. I've gotten the habit is as soon as I feel like I could go use the bathroom, I go. There's just no point in being uncomfortable. All right. A red battle sarong, or let's see, a faded red battle sarong. Watch what we do here. All right, let's stick some black here. Why do I do that? All right, let's put some black here. Still not working. There we go. Good boy. And red. All right, we're going to paint everything in that color. What have we here? I can barely make out who that is. I think it's Greg. Yep, you know why? Because I see your icon and it kind of looks like that pilot thing. Part 3, have you had connection issues? I absolutely have. At 6:32 and 7:58, I've a disconnected issue. But I think I've figured out how to get back on quicker than ever before. So, yeah. Unlike the mobile connection, I can't just wait around 30 seconds and just reconnect. It won't let me. It automatically stops the video and says, I've stopped streaming, I gotta start another stream. So, if you haven't had enough of me, just hold on, I'll be back. Okay. All right. That may be all the red I add to this. I thought you said it was going to be red. Well, it's reddish. Now we'll add white. Not going to be putting this things out of place. These guys are too down on the totem pole to get these colorful cloths. And we need a little bit more. Coloration in that. May not be red at all by the time I'm done with it. Or even hinting of red. If I don't like how it is, I'll just repaint it. Not like this is very thick paint. These common folks aren't going to have these really expensive, rare to acquire colors. Just put on the kitchen bath towel, hand towel. That's what you'll go into battle with. Haven't caught your recent sessions, so where are you in relation to your figures painted? Well, we know you got the 2 soloi done. I'm working on 2 stands of fast auxilia. This is the 5th figure of the 6 figures for the fast auxilia. So, probably we'll see these 2 units completed by the weekend. And then 1/3 of the army will be done. We are probably going to work on the 5 stands of fast blade next. Probably. And we'll do all 15 of them. And if I'm happy with how these 2 stands turn out, I'm probably going to use them this method. See, this is what I said about, hey, he's got a red. Not very red at all. Yeah, it's hard to get this thing to focus. I'm not sure where the hell compare that to that. I'm not going to add a lot more white, but just a little bit more. Make some of these folds pop out a little bit. And that's probably as high up as we're going to go. So, yeah, very good progress. I've been staying on it. I haven't gone to Mitch's house and gamed or edited videos. Probably the biggest determining factor is the heat. I mean, I'm in and out of the heat all day long, Monday through Friday. Wearing hard hat, etc. So the first thing I want to do when I get home, even before I eat something, I want to take a shower. I want to take a shower and not sweat the rest of the day. So going over to his place to play means no shower and more sweating. And I just haven't wanted to game bad enough. And I know it's going to slow down the progress of these guys, and we got to get them done. I'm not allowing myself to not have a book one army anymore. And shit's got old. For your sake, folks. I lied a little bit more. And like I said, I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of disappointed that his buddy Joel was going to come over and play every week. And now what happens is he plays from 9 a.m. to 5, so he's gone by the time I get off work. So, you probably aren't going to see another DBN video. So, sorry. Normal people work on Mondays. Basing's really nice. Thank you. I tested it with my carriage, and I think it turned out good. About 4 weeks until Huracan. Enough to complete. Yep. Yeah, there's enough time. There's enough to complete them. Hell, there may not be a Huracan. Who knows? Right now there is one, but, things change every moment. People want to go to one, but the venue, could put restrictions on it that makes us not want to go. So we'll just hold it here. There'll just be less people. I'm not working those days, so that's not negotiable. But I haven't gotten a hotel at the venue yet. I don't plan on getting one until the last minute. I don't want to have to fight for my money back. Used to be a time in this country that you could reserve a hotel room and they wouldn't charge you immediately when you got it, but those days are over. They charge you immediately, and I don't want to fight to get my money back or get credit, or it's not a huge amount of money. It's just a principle. So So we held off on putting a schedule of games together until we knew that the convention was a go, with no conditions on gameplay. And now they're waffling about that. So, we will see. But regardless, this army will get done. And they're going to play that weekend. It just may be in Orlando. It may be here. I'd rather it be in Orlando, but I've got to cancel my motel rooms as mud was canceled. Normally, no money is exchanged until check is here in Australia. Yeah. Well, they book these conventions at shitty hotels. They got to get the space for free, so a nice place isn't going to do that. The new venue at Historicon is beautiful. The one in downtown Lancaster, that place is beautiful, as it should be. Well, not beautiful, It'd be a place that I wouldn't be embarrassed to take my wife and daughter to stay at. But Moab was, it wasn't just DBA, it was a bunch of other games. So couldn't you guys just run your DBA stuff somewhere else? It's not like you got that many players. I don't think you have more than 12 players, right? You could just meet somewhere else and do your convention. Couldn't you? And that's what we're going to do. I don't think we'd even get 12 players. Eight on a good day, probably. I don't care if it's 4 of us, For me, it's about getting together and socializing. Our convention maybe draws 300, 350 people. It's fine to see the other people, but I don't need to. No longer at the flea pit. Yeah, that place is embarrassing. The last time I went there, what was it, 2018? It was like freaking Stalingrad. Towards the end, they were demoing part of the building, and there was no air conditioning that worked, and that's kind of a deal breaker for me. I need air conditioning. I spend all day I get paid to be freaking hot, and it's still a pain in the ass. I'm not going to volunteer to do that crap. I mean, unless you're like at the beach or something. But we're planning on going unless they put, restrictions on what you want to do, or they don't hold it. Obviously, if they don't hold it, then it is. But lockdown is still statewide, and with the ACT also in lockdown, no travel is possible. Yeah, I don't expect any of that to end anytime soon. I just hate it because not only are you locked down, but it's been busier than normal for work. So it's like all the stuff you don't want and none of the stuff you want. And then meanwhile, you have to listen to people bitching from working from home. Where, I'd like to work from home like, how about one fucking day in 27 years? Can I work from fucking home? No. Well, then don't bitch to me about sitting in your freaking underwear, wearing whatever the hell you want, being comfortable, and complaining about working from home. Okay? So. It's kind of like the overcorrection. I was with the last one of my friends that ever got a car. I didn't get my car until I was in my mid 20s. And yeah, I have a grudge. I have a grudge against that. It's a grudge so strong that I'm like, I'm not buying a self-driving car ever. I'm not going to take the bus. You know, if I go to another country, you go to New York or something like that, yeah, but I'm not taking public transportation. I've done my time. You know, I've done my time. Everybody's buying electric vehicles and this kind of stuff, and I want something that's freaking torque and octane. Within reason. You know, I work in a place that's super hot. I want to be in air conditioning when I'm not there. It's irony. I'm hot all the time, all the time. Anyways, I'm very hot blooded. Mitch is always cold, which I don't know how the hell he's from Illinois, but anyways, but he works in a freezer, and I work in a hot environment. Yep, there is a God, and he hates us. Have I worked out what I'm going to use as a camp for the Amorites? I kind of have. A couple camels with baggage on them, and they're going to double on a 40 by 40 stand because then it'll double as a baggage element for this army. So I can play collision course. This is the first army that I'm planning to have them as collision course. So that's what it's going to be. I got lots of little camels. I think the camels are from Tin Soldier. I think they're Tin Soldier camels. I could be wrong. They're cute. I've had them a long time. Never done anything with them. I may not have somebody on, I probably will not have somebody on foot with them. That way they could be used for different armies. It's not like, no, that's not what the handlers do. And then I got to get different camels when I get the other guys now. Sorry, not at all for a second. Yeah, sorry I'm not more exciting. Sorry we had to get disconnected. Uh-huh. Complete with a palm tree. Probably not going to have a palm tree. It's just going to be barren. Going to have rocky things on it. I'm thinking 2 camels. Maybe it'll be 3. Definitely not 1. Not enough going on with 1. I think I got 2 different camel styles. I haven't put a whole lot of thought into it. But the plan is to do that. But we'll do that last. Because I'm not opposed to playing this army without the camp. Not like I haven't done that a million times before. A camel train with equipment would make a cool camp. I guess they had access to camels. Yes. Yeah. So camels have been used for a while. The problem is contrary to what I would have thought before I started playing DBA, very few armies actually used them in combat. Like the Arabs and stuff. Look at how many Arab armies there are that have camels. Not very many. You know, they smell bad. Horses don't like them. I guess if you didn't have access to horses, you probably would have camels. Like the Tuareg. But it's not what I would have thought, you know, just before I got into looking at this stuff. But hey, like I said, it's about learning. Who'd have thought? Camel train. Got Bill Melendez, one of our DBA gamers that occasionally joins us on at conventions. He does a great camel impression. I need to record it and use it as a ringtone or something like that. He sounds better than a real camel. All right, this guy's done now. Now move it the other way. Okay. Last one. I already got this on my thing, so I'm going to go out of order and go ahead and do the tip. And I wanted to do bronze spear tips. So I did what I did with my Chinese army, is I did a blend of the regular steel type color and then bronze. Because if you just use this straight, it doesn't look right. I've seen other people do it and it doesn't look right to me. It's too, it's too yellowy. So, did you know that Australia exports camels to Saudi Arabia? Didn't know that. Do you know the United States exports main battle tanks to Saudi Arabia? I didn't know that either. Things that don't make any sense to you. Okay. I feel like I need to have another guy that has a light colored skirt. Okay. If that's what I feel like, that's what we're going to do. I'm the boss of this painting world. I could do whatever I want. All right. We're still going to have some of these guys with these colored skirt type things. So it's not like I'm not going to put any stripes. Now, not everybody's going to have one, but I may decide that none of them have them, by the time I'm done with them, I may just be happy with it. So, how it turned out. That could happen. A little darker, a little darker. I didn't know there was camels in Australia. There's a desert and camels just pop. Why aren't there any camels in Death Valley? That's a desert, right? Abrams, yeah, Abrams, just like the ones you have. Yeah, you guys should have built your own tanks. I wouldn't be giving anybody our equipment. Even as friendly as Australians are, just on principle. And I'm pretty certain that Australia and the US are never going to come to blows. I'm pretty certain on that. That's pretty damn good odds. But you should just make your own. You should make your own stuff. I think we're using that color. It doesn't really matter that much. It's all a big blur anyways. Biden just gave the Taliban plenty of our equipment. Well, I don't know that it worked that way, but I don't. My wife was asking me last night what was going on over there. I told him I honestly don't know. I don't watch the news anymore. One side wants to spin it one way, the other one wants to spin it another way. The truth may be somewhere in the middle. I don't care anymore. I'm so fed up with the lies from every direction. I'm just glad I don't have anybody in my family who's in the military, because those folks are getting a shaft no matter what happens. But I'll be honest with you, I don't know what goes on. I have zero interest in finding out, because I'm not going to come to the end of it, really what goes on, because everything is just so polluted with lies and misinformation. And people that, like I said, you may see news that you like to hear, but it's not correct, so what good is it, Current government killed off our automotive industry, so I can't see them supporting a tank manufacturer. I don't understand why you guys don't have cars. I mean, it's not like your country has a history of making things that are shitty, where it's like, well, we can't have quality control. I mean, I don't understand it. Maybe it's not worth it because you can't make enough units. I don't understand why you guys don't have enough vehicles. And, it doesn't make any sense to me. I just got some kind of a notification. What is that? Oh, because my cursor's down here. I want to make sure we don't get disconnected here. Yeah, I don't understand. It's not like they'd be any worse than domestic cars here. Not a fan of domestic vehicles. What was the Australian car brand? Was it Holden? Is that the only one? Was there another one? There's a couple. See, I'm not really, if I didn't play any driving games, honestly, I wouldn't know anything about them. But I think Holden, I don't know, maybe that's a race brand. I have no idea. At one stage, we were exporting cars to the U.S. and they were branded Pontiac. Why change the branding? I don't think anybody in this country would say, I mean, we buy cars from Korea. Why wouldn't we buy cars from Australia? Nobody here has anything bad to say about Australia. I don't know. Pontiac. What Pontiac cars would you have been making? Maybe those G6s. That looks like something that would be like a outside thing. Mr. Dirk, welcome. I have a question for you. Since you're a DBMM player, I know that there's a ripped off version of the DBM rules that some dastardly person put on the internet. But it's not the current DBMM rules. It's the 2007 version. I have all the DBMM books. But my question to you is, let me finish this. Because I'm trying to see if something's allowed in DBA, and it's kind of up in the air, in my opinion, But if it's allowed in DBMM, then I could see how it could extrapolate itself into DBA. Let me get a couple stands here. And it seems pretty liberal. And the problem with, I tend to not make liberal judgments because you can always do the conservative thing. But sometimes if you go out on a limb and do something liberal, then you're pushing it too far. But my question is, if you're still listening, now let's use a couple stands that actually have figures on them. Yeah, we'll use a couple Soloi. We got to use different guys so you can tell what side they're on. Okay, so Papal versus Amorite. Not exactly a match pair. Okay. Let's get a couple guys out here. I don't know if we're going to need this. Here's my DBMM question. In DBA, you can contact like this. You can contact like this. If somebody's in contact with you, you can provide an overlap like this. You can provide you can move and do an overlap like so. Okay. No problem. If you contact on the rear, however, you can't do a partial rear. You don't get anything for that. You've got to do the full one for whatever reason. I think I actually came up with a reason why I couldn't do it, but that's irrelevant. So you can do all those things. Some people claim that the ending position, you could end like this, like this, like this. Obviously, they turn to face, what have you. Some people claim that you can just provide an overlap with no combat. Now, I've read the sentences multiple times, but you couldn't do that in DBA 2.2. And I've played 2.2 so much that I have that ingrained. And that's kind of a big thing if you can do that. Because there's one game in particular I can think of that Desert People Unite, that I was, say, this knight, and there's exactly a base width here. I did not allow myself to go in through here to contact them because I was making an illegal contact. Some people claim, nobody I've ever played with has claimed it, but people in other parts of the world that we don't play with claim that you can do that. And if you can do that in DBMM, I could see how because it's the same author, So can you make a contact? Can you make side contact with nobody being to your front? And obviously nothing happens. Is that allowed? I don't have the rule book handy right now, but if you read it, it says that's one of the ending things, or an overlap. But in 2.2, you couldn't do that unless somebody was in contact first to their front. So let me know. I was going to look it up on the rules. I really don't feel like I need to buy the DBMM rules just for that. That's a steep thing, but I'm fine playing with that it is allowed. I just don't want to, retrain everybody. And then, oh, by the way, I was wrong because, there's people that, and I was just talking about with this current, the rule thing that came up this last week. There's people that they've never played the damn game, but somehow there's some scholars of a book and somehow their opinion matters to me. And it doesn't, because it's not that I'm the smartest guy there, but at least somebody who's run events or, done stuff like that it makes a difference. You don't think so, but I'll check now. Okay. Because if you can't do it in DBMM, then I would say that you can't do it in DBA also. That's not what Phil's intention was. And I've had other people that are supposedly on the design group that said, no, we allowed it because of this, that, and the other, but they can't even get the whole contacting thing right. So that's in the facts. So I don't really trust their opinion. And I'm fine if it's allowed. I just don't want to allow something that's out there. And the next thing you know, we're playing even more games wrong. Because, the reality is if you don't allow it, you're still playing the rules right. You're conservatively not allowing people to do it. It's still all right. But allowing something that's way out there, like I said, I've never seen anybody claim that in a face-to-face game. Now, we don't play people from all over the world, but, we have had Canadians come down recently and play DBA 3.0 with us, and none of them have claimed to do that. I don't have an agenda either way. I'm fine with it being allowed if that's the case, if that's what the intent is, but I'm not saying everything translates over from DBMM, but it is the same author and it is the same thinking process, I would hope, so. And the problem with the fact group is the last three things I brought up to him came up with a hung jury. I just want us to all play the same way. I don't care necessarily what that way is. I just want consistency. Unless something's just blatantly wrong, but that hasn't been the case. A rear corner or rear edge cannot be voluntarily moved into by any enemy contact, or a flank edge into any contact except with a flank edge or if the front edge also moves into combat. Okay. There's my answer. Okay. So we will continue playing as we've been playing. Thank you, sir. Unless they make some kind of a fact ruling. All right, we'll bring it up. Thank you very much. And I'm not opposed to changing how we do things. I just don't want to do it on hearsay, because that does more harm than good. Well, you can't just move next to guys and they're not distracted to the front. I mean, Like, for instance, there's some things that don't make any sense. Like, in the old 2.2... No, hold on. Let me think about this before I... There's probably a way in 3.0 that you can do a literal landing and set up already in side contact to a unit of the enemy force, but it shouldn't be allowed. You shouldn't be able to land within a threat zone of someone. But it's not in the rules, but some things just don't make any sense. So, like when we were doing we did a tournament that was all the armies had to be littoral. That was one of the things. You couldn't land within a base width of someone else already there. It's just dumb, Like, why wouldn't, if you're that close, why would you wouldn't have gotten off the ship that close to an enemy? But it's not addressed in the rules. It's not in the rules, but, you just don't want to make those rulings that it changes every game because, it's a slippery slope. The next thing you know, you're doing that for everything. So, okay, Australian Greg. Makes sense. Otherwise, you can use a geometric ploy to stop someone moving into combat. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Or that whole business that they were claiming that, you can have a unit like this, and you can have that's threatening another unit here. Let's use opposing forces. You've got a unit of blade, whether or not they're in a group or not. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Here's your scenario. You got a group of heavy foot. And Saloy comes over here to lock this guy down. And people that are claiming, well, look, the single unit conforms to a group. I agree, but they're hitting them with a corner like this. Once you enter this zone, I've always seen it played. Once this corner is locked down here, it can't further move that way. It's got to move towards this corner or rotate and then move forward and then come over. You can't just cross. You're exposing the whole flank of this unit. It doesn't make any sense. And if you have another guy here and he's locked down, in moving over to this corner, now you're locking down this other unit. The whole purpose of having this guy here is to distract them so they don't go that way. It's fraught with all kinds of problems. You know, you got to think of what the repercussions are. You can't just say, hey, this feels good, or that's moving closer to. I know it's not addressed in the rules, but just think about it. No, I've never seen anybody play that way. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not introducing all that chaos into our games, which run smooth, and we still occasionally get a few things wrong. Unfortunately, you know. So I did look at the DBMM rules a little bit, and like I've said before, I think our group would really enjoy playing it. However, there's so much detail in there that you know what you'd need? You'd need a program that was similar to the ASL Assist program that they had in the 90s. There was a program where if you played Advanced Squad Leader, and it was probably a program that was written in BASIC, that Avalon Hill sold, that was the companion to the rules, so that you could play, you'd enter the dice roll, and it would tell you, okay, did you check for weather? Did you check for this? It would have to be something like that, so that you don't miss things unintentionally, because there is so much goodness in there. That I think we would enjoy it. I just wouldn't enjoy playing 150 games wrong before I got one correct, and that's what it would turn into. Because I'd play DBMM 100 or whatever the smallest version of DBMM, because I don't want to paint a lot of the same army over and over again. But all that stuff is is it a late day? Did it rain? We like all that stuff. That stuff's cool and makes each game unique. It's just I don't want to play the game wrong that many times. And I know what I'm talking about because I've played DBA wrong so many times. That's really unsatisfying. Troops in a threat zone can continue to move straight forward. Okay, well, we're going to keep going the way we're going until some fact thing gets released, which I have no high hopes that that's going to happen. The last couple times I brought things up for clarification, it was just like a hung jury. So this is the last guy. Well, until we do the trim work. And yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that. We're going to roll right into that. Well, I'm going to have to go to little boy's room before then. I've had too much liquids. Let me rephrase that. I don't have to go there. I choose to go there. And it forces you to get up, too. You don't need to be sitting hunched over in this chair for hours on end. Let's get a little bit of white, assuming it's still alive. I could have made the javelins different colors, but, you know, different wood colors. They wouldn't have bothered to paint them. But I definitely, these guys are going to have tan type skin. I wanted the javelins to be light in color just to have some contrast there. I want these just to be one big blob. All right, we're going to use a little boy's room, do his beard, and then we'll roll right into the trim parts. Be right back. Sometimes watching your DBA battles, I wonder why you don't move something and then realize the DBA you can't. The goodness for me is the different quality of troops, superior, ordinary, inferior. Yeah, I wish DBA had that. I'll be honest with you. I really wish that all knights weren't the same. Just for flavor. Absolutely. Be right back. All right. Well, we're going to have to we're getting ready to use some more of it. Let's go ahead and get some more black on here. It's a little bit of a delay on here. Yeah. Okay. Put that there. I wish I could see this screen. This screen is big and clear. I have to use a smaller one if there's any comments. So I guess if I wanted to figure out how to do that bad enough, I'd look it up, but I'm a painter, not a producer. I produce figures, not videos. All right, let's paint this guy's hair all black. Let's not put any thought into it. We'll just make him black-headed and be done with it. So I'm going to have 6 figures that are exactly in the same pose, exactly the same figure. You make them stand out a little bit by giving them strong, small trim on some of these battle sarongs. Catchy name for those things. It's not a skirt, it's a battle sarong. And if I'm not happy with how these guys look, if they look a little too drab, we could always repaint them. It's not a big deal. All right, that's probably good. Let's get this guy in here with the rest of them. And let's take a look at him. I haven't really taken a look at him. That sounds strange, but always bugs me in DBA that 14th century knights fight as well as, say, Goths. Yeah. Well, it doesn't bother me so much because I'm not. If this was a World War II rule set, F that. All medium tanks are the same. No, I can't do that. But all right. Let's get in here. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, this guy is totally different with that colored. So we're probably going to leave him as is. This is a light colored one. We could probably leave him as is. But this one's kind of a light colored one, so we're going to go ahead and give him a trim, and we're going to do red trim for him. And this is just whim. Actually, that guy looks actually okay without trim. A nice coloration on that. Where's my red at? Yeah, still good. All right. Here we go. I'm going to assume that whatever the hell this thing is, the end of it is along the bottom, so it's going to be finished. And this part folds up as well, up the side, so that's going to be finished. So that's what the intention that we're going to go with is. So let's get this. Let's get this. Red, yellow, and white were the colors I heard that were normal trim colors. Where did this go? I'm looking for it. It's not there. There we go. So we probably don't need to go darker than that. This is probably just fine. Not sure if I'm going to be able to make this visible here. And then across the front as well. Now we're going to take that stripe and we're going to make it thicker because we're going to thin it down with the highlight on it. So let's make it a little bit thicker. Maybe not twice as thick, but maybe 50%. I need more meat here to the paint. There you go. All right, so we've got, and around the back. All right, so let's just try livening this up. And then let's liven it up a tiny little bit more. Not this full red, just shy of it. And now, I'm sure the white's dead again. Let's get some white on here. We're going to leave the colorful guys towards the end and do these really not well-to-do folks. Even a little bit more. We'll add some little bit of dashing on there so that it has some kind of a pattern, not just subtle. I need to just give up on. Where's my little foamy? Let's try this thing here. Let's try this. Too tall. Damn it, man. I don't want to adjust this. I just need to put it on something so I'm not like bouncing all over the place with my hand. How about this? How about an old Games Workshop one? There we go. Let's just find out where the focal point is. That's not bad. Yeah, see, it gives a little impression that there's some kind of a pattern on that fringe there. So it's not just a red, boring ass line. You know, just a little something. Call it a night. Had my second COVID jab and I'm feeling a bit rough. Just hanging on to see the trim. There you go. There you can see it. Had some side effects, huh? I know several people that have had it, and they really haven't felt anything. I guess it just depends on how you react to it. hopefully you stay well, and just it'll just help you go to sleep a little earlier. We'll see you tomorrow, Dirk. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for your answer to those questions. Okay, for the rest of you, on for some more trim. Next guy's blue, of course. Oop. Let's not scuff up any of the painting that I did. It just creates more, makes it more difficult to get the army out. This guy, blue. And we're not going to use that light blue. Let's get one that's got a little bit more panache. Yeah, there we go. What's this? Dark blue. Oh, how original. Okay. We'll leave this Games Workshop paint here. That's good for popping it on there. Oh, we're getting to be that time where the light is coming through here. The light from the transom window up there. Can't even look into that. You would think that it would make painting easier when that happened, but it doesn't. It actually makes it more difficult. There we go. Same thing with blue, or a similar thing with blue. Oh, this is the guy you said we weren't going to paint because it was nice. This guy here. Maybe it was that one. There we go. This guy. This guy could use some sprucing up. Okay, let's add more of this. And then we'll add white. We don't want to go all the way to the top. That's a little too bright. Man, this thing's really throwing me off. As you got this shadow here, you can see it. It's significant. And you would think that it would make it easier, but no, it just adds another. It adds a shadow that didn't exist. Yeah, we're just going to power through it. All right, and then we'll do the same thing. We'll come in here, and I think this time what we're going to do is we're going to add a little dot pattern along this. So a little dot like that, and then we're going to put another one about here, another one about there, and then another one there, and another one halfway up, another one there. So we've got these little dots on here, right? So they're a little far apart. That's okay. And we're going to come in and we're going to do one in between those. That's the thing about Essex figures. Essex figures are kind of devoid of detail. But the good thing about that is it's kind of a blank canvas. You can kind of do a lot of different things with them. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to add a little bit more white and make those pop even more. Almost probably completely pure white. Somewhere kind of like that. Show you what we got here. And like I said, I may get to the end of it and go, you know, I really didn't like what I did there. I'll just repaint it. I'll repaint his little sarong. Not that big of a deal. Just a tiny little bit of detail, like there's something there. You can be kind of vague. And let's see if we can put him next to the other guy. That's red. Yeah, use another bottle. It's not like I don't have these. Okay, 2 down. Okay. Aha, we got people awake. Be right back. couple things. We can kill this light in the corner now. All right. And all right, let's roll. All right, I got two of those guys. We're going to do another blue one and another red one, and two guys that aren't painted at all. So I think the two guys that aren't painted at all, we're going to make them these two guys, and these are the other two that will be painted. Okay. So we'll make this guy red. We've just determined it like that. And I think I'm going to try to do something different on this guy. And we can use the same red. That's not the different thing that we're going to do. But we're going to bring this in from the edge a little bit. So in other words, instead of this being right on the edge, we're going to come in a little ways. And this may be successful. I may not like how it looks. I might be disappointed at any moment. You never know. How much meat is around there? Okay, about right there. Got it. Okay, so now we've got a trim piece, but it's not all the way on the edge of that. So let's go ahead and bring that up in color. And what do we got here? There he is. PWS, welcome. More Prussian ABs on the way, just can't stop. 1813 Prussians, or the ones that wore the brown pants? Get a little bit more color on here. AB Prussians. I know this is going to sound really weird. I've seen AB figures. They almost look too realistic. I don't mean that a bad thing. I think it's I think that's a good thing, but all these most miniature figures look kind of dorky. AB stuff looks pretty realistically shaped. Almost kind of like the Airfix figures and 1/72nd scale Airfix figures. They all look realistic, which is kind of unusual to see in War Games figures. They're always something exaggerated. Essex figures, for instance, are very stumpy looking. And that's just how they are. It's just the style of the person on there. Let's see if we can. Oh yeah, we can add a little bit of detail on here. This is the kind of stuff that I really had to run with like my Ottoman Turks. I had to create patterns where there aren't any. just to give them that kind of look that they may have had. Come on, just one little bit of a stripe left. Don't screw up now. Oh, I like that. Oh, I likey. Me likey, me likey, me likey. Show you what I got here. Don't fall down. Yes, slacker. Let's get closer. Okay, so we got a little bit of a pattern there going on. And it's a little bit off the edge, meaning there's a little bit of the white left. Unlike this one that is right on the edge. Okay. Blue time. Campaign game miniatures in Spain are my go-to most of the time, but Dermot prints to order. 1815, the dark blue guys. Excellent. Campaign. Isn't shipping from Spain like brutal? I ordered one thing from Spain and it was more in shipping than it actually cost. It was a book. I should get a discount from things from Spain. No? All right. You said blue, so let's do blue. You mentioned blue. Blue it is. Well, we're gonna do this guy in blue anyways. Although we want to make sure he doesn't look very Egyptian, you know, because this white and blue is very Egyptian look, or maybe Greek, or maybe both. Let's get a dark color in here. Yeah, my experience shipping from Spain, shipping from Italy are both really expensive to the States. We're going to do this one on the edge. Well, so you're up early, but not that much. Hopefully you're doing better. You're painting, so that's probably better. All right, let's get some lighter color in here. Of course, I don't have to do lighter color. I could just lighten this up. By the way, what color do I get if I lighten this up? Yeah, I get like a gray color. Oh shit, let's try that. Let's see what happens. Well, we need it brighter than that. And we'll do dashes with this one. I knew this was going to be a dull looking army, kind of like my cartage are. That doesn't mean that they're not exciting. I would say my Irish are really dull looking as well. Love them too. And then add a little bit more white. Let's go after these dashes. All right, I'll show you what I got here. All right, so let's take a look at all these boys. Because that's probably all I'm going to do on them. I'm going to leave 2 that don't have any strips. The other 4 have strips, 2 of them bluish, the other 2 reddish. That's kind of the colors that they had access to. And of course they'll be mix and match. Not like we're going to have the 2 blue guys on the same stand. So there they are. These are the fast auxilia. And they'll be base 3 to a stand. And shipping. Dermot Gray's British expatriate. Shipping, not bad. When I drop $100 plus, I get most of my shipping free. A lot better. Evening all. Hello, James L. Good evening. Don't take my Saturday away. Okay, so here we go. This is what they look like so far. We're going to wait for them to dry a little bit, and we'll spray coat them gloss. Actually, what I've done is I've actually am I priming white? No, I'm priming black. No, I prime everything in black. This is what they're going to look like. We're going to spray coat them in gloss, and then we'll come back and I skipped the step where I sprayed them in flat. I'm just going to I just put this stuff on afterwards, which I was doing anyways. So I found a way to skip a step. And the reason I skipped the step is because the flat coat is hard to get now, spray. So I just do this, which I was going to do them anyways. Then I put this stuff on really thick. So they should be protected well enough. But Don Alberto's Black Company. So there you go. This is what they're going to look like. We'll see how they look on stands later on. So anyhow, we're going to spray them, and I've got some stuff to do kind of in the middle of the day today, and come back, goop them, and hopefully, certainly by tomorrow morning, they should be done, because they'll be gooped today and dry overnight. So tomorrow morning, we'll start making their bases look kind of like this with them. So, and then we'll have those done, and then we're going to start working on the fast blade. Fast blade are kind of cool, and 2 spear, 2 shot, 2 riders, and knights. Thanks to Italian Wars for supplying dogs of war, even 6mm. Okay, I feel like I have half of a conversation, but okay. Anyhow, so we've got, so we can start running into the fast blades, hopefully tomorrow. We're going to do all 15 stands. They're going to have, the shields are going to be goat pattern shields. So they're all going to have that kind of stuff. And I've looked at some pictures of I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have kind of a theme going. I think they're probably going to be some kind of dark gray type shields or whatever. Middle Eastern goats in the colors. I want them, I don't want them to be just all random. They have some kind of a unity on them. And do those figures have, I think they got shirts and stuff like that. But anyhow, so that's it for today. Thanks for stopping by in the 3 videos, even though I got disconnected. But We will see you guys next time, and enjoy your Saturday. Thanks for stopping by, folks. Bye-bye.